again, stylistically, this is just excellent. All of the bounciness and stuff is really, really solidified, super duper clean. This is the type of thing voice teachers usually have to take a lot of time with. I'm not going to mess with any of that because it was in an excellent position. So I want us to do just a couple of small things. So we have, okay, you're a choral, a music ed person, yes? So you've done some conducting, have you done conducting classes?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to use conducting here in just a second. So we have, this song has a lot of time changes. You have the 3/8, and then you have those longer, right? And so I want to see if we can find a conducting pattern to differentiate between those. Because the first one has a bounce to it, but I think that there's a bit of a stretch you can get in the second rhythmic pattern.
Yeah.
So we'll just do a 1. Yeah, and then when we get to the maybe we can just do like a stretchy 3. So we'll do or I know it doesn't fit exactly. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be technically perfect, but what I want to kind of do in terms of like this conducting or whatever, I had a conducting person who talked about the rebound, and he talked about air. So we have this airy rebound, right? Mm-hmm. And then he talked about water. So this is where we feel a little bit more of that stretch, right? And then he talked about molasses, which is like, real heavy stuff. So what I'd love to see if we could do is on the bouncy stuff, we use the air pattern, and then on the we go to water.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we can get that tension in your, I don't want to say tension, but that extra stretch, then we might be able to hear the difference between those two styles. Can we start that out?
Yeah.
Maybe just like a couple measures prior. Good. Keep going. Yes. So I love that stretch and I love that crescendo, and that's how you can just kind of find.
Yeah.
Like technically, I think you were right there with that. Let's go ahead and try that without the conducting, but the same idea. So two different distinct feelings there. Beautiful. Fantastic. Good. Did that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. It feels like even within those kind of like two phrase chunks where it's not like the dynamic contrast, it feels like I'm able to get more like stylistic within the phrases, which is nice.
Did you guys see the difference with the watery, position or whatever? So I have done conducting and stuff too, so sometimes that can just help you put it into your body anyway. Fantastic, you accomplished it. Check. Keep doing that. The other thing that I wanted us to talk about, so I love your dynamic contrast when you do the two different phrases. I do hear a little, when it gets quieter, I want to make sure that it doesn't get smaller.
Sure.
So what I want to see if we can do, perhaps not at the very beginning, because we always start at the very beginning.
Right.
Let's find a good place.
When you're at keys.
Great. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And what I'd like you to think about this time is, again, keep that dynamic contrast, but I want us to think about rather than a difference simply in volume, that there's a difference in color and a different affectation as a result of this. Okay, so what is a good, and we can even open this up. So what are some good adjectives we can use to describe that quiet version she has? So oftentimes we can associate quiet with pensive or something along those lines. Let's see if we can find adjectives at least for the quieter version. Does anything come to your mind?
I think of it kind of like as being like a little bit like playful, where it's like, oh, I want to draw you in.
Yes.
And like, oh, yeah.
Perfect. So let's now think about it. So let's just kind of throw aside the idea of volume level, and I want to hear the first one as it was, and then the second one to have that playful element, and see if that can connect a little bit more.
Sure.
Okay? second one, what's a good adjective that you feel like can be a contrast with that second playful one?
I think it's kind of like more declamatory joyfulness. You know, it's like I'm outwardly joyful, and then the second one is like kind of inwardly, playfully joyful.
Fantastic. So let's amp up the declamatory volume of the first one, and then I think even when it comes to that playful, I think we can see something, a little glimmer, glint in your eye or something that shows that little bit of playfulness.
Okay.
So I'd like to see even a bigger contrast, but very good directions. Same spot. Same spot.
Questo fa contento il cor, questo fa contento il cor, fa contento il cor. Questo fa contento il cor, questo fa contento il cor, fa contento il cor.
Does that help to you?
Yeah, I think so, for sure.
Are you guys hearing that contrast, that difference? Good. So I often will when I work with students, I really try to encourage, when we're thinking piano, I'm always like, let's just find an adjective. Let's just cross out piano, find an adjective that we feel like portrays that, because too often it's easy to just kind of get up in the chest.
Yeah, sure.
So, great. I think those were my big comments, and we applied them right away. So apply those. Any other comments on what you guys heard, differences, or any other suggestions? Great job! Lots of really, really excellent stuff. German's in a pretty good spot. Sometimes there are consonant clusters that kind of hit next to each other, then we could use the end of one. I wish I could think of like an example. But even just how you introduce the piece, Sturmnacht, just making sure to get the M and the N. Those are going to be a couple of things to kind of keep in mind. As a high tenor myself, I know that stuff like this can be a challenge when you have, especially even in that single phrase, you have an octave and a half with that E flat going into the G flat. One thing so what I want us to look at right now, I agree that we're hearing a decent amount of presence. What I want to try to see if we can do is stabilize the laryngeal position so that we don't have to feel that the low notes feel down here like this, as though I'm speaking like this, and then the high stuff, honestly, I think was like your happiest place. I didn't feel like your high stuff was going up super high, but I felt like we were either in a fairly neutral position or in a pressed down position. Do you know kind of what I'm talking about? So I think, for one thing, I think you can trust yourself to be able to hit these notes a little bit more than you are. Okay, so let's see how many verses. First of all, let's see if we can find more height in the body language overall, so that you don't have to feel like this when you first start. Okay, so get yourself in a position like in a body position, saying, "I'm about to sing the G flat, the high G flat." What does that look like in your body? Cool, I love it. So finding that level of height, I think we can start with all of the positioning and everything, all the shapes that you make inside. For me, I kind of have to raise my eyebrows a little bit. I'm not telling you that's like what you have to do. But I want to see if we can start this with the idea that we have a presence up here, like you're ready for the G flat, and you don't have to make a huge shift from that to that. Can we please just do the opening full line of so the first two systems, essentially. All right, so get your body prepared and pretend like you're going to sing high, and then sing that E flat and just see what happens. Okay. Pushing down as much into that, which I think is really excellent. Now I know that we have the sheet music in front of you and stuff like that. Just for a second, do you have at least the melody memorized at this opening? Okay. Then let's just move this for a second. I just want you to sing this like on a da 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 da, just so we don't have the feeling of you looking down. So sing up and out, the same ideas we've had. Da 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 da, and do those two phrases like we just did, so you get to have one less thing to think about in terms of words. Okay? Let it be nice and open. Da 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 da. decided to give yourself a little bit of a break on that low stuff. Is it feeling different? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah? Tell me, okay, can we now put this back in front of you? Try the same thing one more time. We'll look at you this time, just a second, we're not always just doing this. But this only, remember that I want the body and the face and the eyes, and I mean, let the eyes be the only thing that goes down for this.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Several more pairs of ears. You're feeling that idea? Okay, so I think you just need to give yourself credit, even though it's low. I don't think you need to be pressing down into that. I want to do one more great thing. Let's jump to the same melody at the very end. Okay. And one other element I'd like to see if we can do is find longer phrases rather than just the pattern of ba, 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 right? So we have that as like every single time, it's like every half measure. I would love to see if we could find one big long phrase all the way to the end of Wilde, for example.
Yeah.
So we're thinking now 2 bars at a time. And yeah?
Yeah.
So 2 bar phrases, let's do that to the very end. Okay, cool. So let's see if we can incorporate something different into your body. Okay. So what I want you to do, it doesn't have to be like in tempo. I want you to just draw kind of an infinity symbol with your hand and make it be slower than the tempo is. Da, 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 da. You see that I'm not landing in a particular spot. We're just going to draw a big old, almost like, hey, it's the Disney Channel, okay? But not in time, okay? So feel that and feel the water that we were talking about with Chloe. And we're intentionally not going to find a downbeat in this thing. And I just want to see if perhaps you finding that stillness and that stretch in the body can get this out of the body. Okay. Can we do the same section with that?
Yeah.
All right, start your infinity symbol. Space. And so what is the most compelling type of thing you can do as a singer is because your line is a horizontal line, right? His is the vertical stuff. If you can create that contrast of horizontal on top of his vertical, with that, I think it's going to be really helpful. Obviously, the infinity symbol is only going to be like a trick to use right now. But after that, I encourage you, when you get to performance, like to memorize recital performance ready of this, find something in your body just to the point that feels like it can move not totally in its time to be able to stretch out those longer phrases. Okay. Yeah? Yeah. Any other thoughts and comments for Ryan? Great job.